Hello everyone, welcome back to another video of NAATI CCL Hindi language. In the first video, if you have seen that video, I have pretty much given the introduction or the background and the plot of this exam, what happens in this exam, what needs to be kept in mind because we are attempting this exam. Now this video, my focus is what needs to be kept in mind before we start our practice or while we are practicing the dialogues of NAATI CCL Hindi language. Okay, now there are a couple of points that they are very small points, but still we miss them when we are taking notes, and that's the reason that when we are taking notes we panic a lot, we are stressed, and we just think that what if the dialogue is very hard, what if the segment is very long, I might not be able to do that, I might not be able to pass. All these negative thoughts come because the correct approach to writing the notes of the segments that you are listening to is not very clear. So today we are not going to do any dialogue, but let us understand this video properly so that in the next video when we are doing the dialogues, we know what needs to be done. So the first point I want to address over here will be, we all know that we have two dialogues in exam, dialogue 1 and dialogue 2. Let's say I'm talking about dialogue 1 right now. The good part about these dialogues are that there is always an introduction involved before the dialogues begin. Now what do I mean by introduction? Introduction means they will give you a little bit idea about who are the two people in the dialogues, what are they going to discuss, what will be the background of their discussion. Why is this very important for us to listen to this introduction? Two reasons. Number one, you can quickly write down the names if the names are in the introduction. Mostly there will be names. For example, the introduction will be something like this. This dialogue is a conversation between a teacher and a student. Mr. Mohit is a teacher and Alex is a student. Mr. Mohit is speaking in English and Alex is speaking in Hindi. Alex has gone to meet the teacher regarding the assignment. Now, what happens when I'm listening to this introduction carefully? Number one, I have trained my brain that the dialogue I will be listening to will be something related to assignments, studies, student, teacher. Now, those vocabulary will automatically start coming up in my mind. It is very important for my brain to understand that what should I expect in next 5 to 6 minutes. Now let's say I have understood that okay, this dialogue will be between a teacher and a student, this and that. The first thing I would do as a student if I'm taking notes is I will write down the names and I will quickly make a short form of the name. Because if the name is coming 10 times in the dialogue, I don't want to write down the entire name or the profession of that person in a complete word and waste my time. Rather, I would figure out a short form. For example, if let's say it's between Mr. Mohit, so I would write down something like this, MOH, and if the student is Alex, I'd write down some short form like this. Now, you must be thinking Alex is ALEX, you have just written ALX, what's the short form in this? That's completely understandable. Alex is a short name. What if you get a very, big name? For example, what if you get a name like Georgina? Now, you cannot write down the complete name Georgina. So, I would write down something like George Na or JNA, something like that. But I have to tell my brain that there are two people involved in the dialogue. One name is Mohit, one name is Georgina. Georgina is the student, so I have to write down the short form. Mohit is the teacher, I have to write down the short form, so that when the dialogue is being played, I will only use the short form every time I listen to the name. If there is profession mentioned, for example, teacher, I'd write down something like TR, and student, I would write down something like ST. Create short forms then and there, because these short forms will help you when you are taking notes in your dialogue. So this is the thing you need to do while you are listening to the introduction. Second thing I would do is use your imagination power and start visualizing the scene, what you are listening to. It will help you a lot. When you start visualizing something, if you are also a PT student, and if you have seen my videos of different topics, like for example, I'm telling of repeat sentence. Okay, repeat sentence, if you have seen the video, what did I discuss? How can you memorize the sentence? Try and visualize what the speaker is speaking about. When you try and visualize what the speaker is speaking about, it stays in your memory for a little longer compared to what it will stay when you do not visualize anything. You have to be very clear with this. Now, understand one thing. Whatever the dialogues will be, these dialogues are something to do with your everyday life. For example, they will something be related to immigration or education or medical, very common everyday, life stuff. So you will not listen to something that you will feel, I have never heard of this before in my life. No, it will be everyday, domestic, primary, routine work that you will be listening to. So it would not be that difficult for you to connect with it. For example, if I'm telling you right now, student and teacher, is it very difficult to connect? No. You know what a teacher is. You know what a student is. Start visualizing that room, that okay, there is a room, there is a teacher sitting and there is a student coming. She is going to discuss her assignment. Why am I visualizing this? It will help me to involve in the dialogue, to understand the dialogue properly. So please do this when the introduction is being delivered to you. This is the first thing you have to do. So I hope it is clear that what you need to do when the introduction is being delivered to you. Number one, imagine what's going on, make the short forms and try to understand what the speaker is speaking. This is the first thing. Now, second thing that we need to keep in mind regarding note taking, so that from the next videos when we are taking notes, you can connect with those videos as well. Now, I am sure that I know that two people are going to talk, Mohit and Georgina. So one is M and one is G. Okay. Mohit is a teacher and Georgina is a student. All right. Now, whenever I am listening to the dialogue, I am doing two things at the same time. Number one, yes, I have to take notes. I agree on that, But second thing is, along with taking notes, I also have to listen to the sentence very carefully. Now, I'm pretty sure you will think that obviously we have to listen to the sentence very carefully. Otherwise, how will I take notes? I am not referring to that at this stage. You will listen to the sentence carefully, but try to understand the meaning of what the speaker is trying to deliver. Why? Because a lot of times what happens is, let's say for some reason, maybe you are stressed or the segment is too long, whatever. For some reason, you could not write the notes of the entire segment. But the good thing is, you have been very attentive. You were listening to the speaker very carefully and you were understanding what the speaker was saying. Because of that practice, what will happen is, in case you miss something while writing in your notes, you will still be able to deliver the same information in the opposite language, obviously, because you were very attentive and you understood the meaning. So please just don't listen to the segment for the sake of writing notes. No, yes, that is one part of it, but also understand the meaning of what the segment is trying to say, so that it's very easy for you to deliver. When you understand, you will feel one thing, that when you are speaking, your flow will be very good. Your confidence will be good. When you're speaking, you can feel that. And when you don't understand what's happening, you're writing, what will happen is, you're looking at your notes, you're not fluent in speaking, you're hesitating, you're not confident, and you don't have that sharp speaking. This is the difference. So try and use this thing. Understand what the speaker is saying. You will feel the difference. Now let us do one or two examples, or one or two segments, and I will tell you what I'm actually trying to say before we wrap up this video. Now, the first thing, let's say the dialogue starts with Mohit speaking. So let's say Mohit is speaking. Hi Georgina, it's good to see you today. How can I help you today? Okay, this is very common introduction sentence that every dialogue will have. So how will I take notes? So what was the sentence? Hi Georgina. So I would write hi Georgina. I know G is Georgina. It is good to see you today. Good to see you today. Okay, and how can I help you today? Help today. And that was a question. Now, pretty much you will understand that this type of notes, will I be able to understand in the exam? Yes, you will be, if you have practiced enough. For NAATI, I always tell my students, let's say your exam is after 20 days. or 1 month. Every single day, doesn't matter you do just one dialogue, you have to do it every single day. It is like brushing your teeth. You cannot brush your teeth for half an hour today and then not brush for 1 week thinking that Monday I brushed my teeth for half an hour. That's not how it works. Similarly, it's for NAATI. You have to do it 7 days. You cannot have a weekend or anything. If you get that flow of taking notes in exam, you will be so much in a better position. You will be so confident because you've been taking notes on a consistent basis. Now, having said that, let's come back to the note taking. I did two things. One, I was listening to the speaker and I understood that, okay, he's trying to be nice to Georgina. He's just welcoming her. That is what I've understood. And I've taken notes in short form. Now I have to do the Hindi. The flow has to be like this. नमस्ते जॉर्जिना, आपको आज यहाँ देखकर बहुत अच्छा लगा. मैं आज आपकी कैसे सहायता कर सकता हूँ? Now what happens if I try and take every single word? Maybe I miss small little piece of information like today. If I don't write today, what will I say? मैं आपकी कैसे सहायता कर सकता हूँ? Now what happens is आज word is missing. Why? Because today. It is then something that will, deduct your marks. I will only write down the words which I know are important, which I will need to deliver my information. And second thing, I will write them all down in short form. If I write down every single word with full names, whatever they are, I am never going to be able to complete my notes. And the bell sound, immediately I listen to, within 3 seconds, after 3 seconds, I have to start speaking. So what I would rather do is, I would focus on quickly going through what I've written and then speaking after 3 seconds. After the bell sound, obviously. Now, whenever there is a question, please put a question mark in your notes so that you understand that this is a question and you can deliver it as a question. I'll repeat this dialogue again. नमस्ते जॉर्जिना, आपको यहाँ आज देखकर बहुत अच्छा लगा. मैं आज आपकी किस प्रकार सहायता कर सकता हूँ या मदद कर सकता हूँ, दोनों ही सही है. तो आपको एक चीज़ समझनी है कि मेरा काम इंफॉर्मेशन डिलीवर करना है, मेरा काम वर्ड बाय वर्ड ट्रांसलेशन करना नहीं है. पर वो तभी होगा अगर आपने नोट्स जितनी इंपॉर्टेंट चीज़ें वो सब लिखी हो और आपने शॉर्ट में लिखी हो और आपने अपने ब्रेन को पिछले 20-25 दिन 1 महीने में ट्रेन किया हो कि भाई ये शॉर्ट फॉर्म्स है मेरे. तब जाके एग्जाम में बात अच्छी बनती है और आप कंफर्टेबल होते हो. सिमिलरली लेट्स से अब जॉर्जिना है, वो हिंदी में बोल रही है, तो वो हिंदी में कैसे बोलेगी? लेट्स से उसने ये बोला, नमस्ते टीचर जी, मैं बहुत अच्छी हूँ, आपको भी मिलकर बहुत अच्छा लगा. मैं यहाँ आज अपने असाइनमेंट के विषय में कुछ चर्चा करने आई हूँ. अब कितना बड़ा सेगमेंट सुनाई दे रहा है, पर कितना आसान है. बहुत ही कॉमन चीज़ है कि उसने अपने टीचर के हर चीज़ को रिप्लाई किया है और ये कहा है कि मतलब नमस्ते किया, उसने ग्रीट किया, आपको भी देखकर अच्छा लगा, मैं यहाँ पर अपना असाइनमेंट का चर्चा करने आई हूँ. बड़ी बेसिक चीज़ें हैं, लेकिन हमें सुनाई देती हैं कि बहुत लंबा सेगमेंट है, क्योंकि हम लिखने में इतने ज़्यादा बिजी हो गए हैं कि हम मतलब नहीं समझ रहे हैं. अब इस केस में कभी कभी क्या होगा, क्योंकि मैंने मतलब समझ लिया है, मैंने शायद आधी ही नोट्स ली हो, लेकिन मैं फिर भी लास्ट सेंटेंस कंप्लीट कर लूँगा क्योंकि मुझे पता है उसने क्या बोला है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल लेट्स से उसने यही बोला है, तो नमस्ते टीचर जी, नमस्ते टीचर, आपको भी मिलकर अच्छा लगा, गुड टू सी यू टू. मैं इंग्लिश में ही लिखूंगा क्योंकि इंग्लिश में लिखना ईजी है. जब हम टेक्स्ट लिखते हैं, मैसेज लिखते हैं, हम हिंदी यूज़ करते हैं लेकिन इंग्लिश अल्फ़ाबेट्स भी यूज़ करते हैं. जैसे कैसे हो, तो हम कैसे लिखते हैं? KAISEHO, हम ऐसे लिखते हैं. हिंदी में बात कर रहे हैं लेकिन इंग्लिश अल्फ़ाबेट्स यूज़ कर रहे हैं. क्यों? क्योंकि वो ईजी है. हम लिटरली हिंदी में कैसे नहीं लिखते हैं क्योंकि वो बहुत टाइम कंज्यूमिंग होता है और हम यूज़ टू नहीं है. सेम चीज़ हमें हमारे नोट्स में यूज़ करनी है जब हम नाटी की नोट्स ले रहे हैं. तो पहली लाइन क्या थी? नमस्ते टीचर जी, वो मैंने यहाँ लिख लिया. आपको भी मिलकर अच्छा लगा, गुड टू सी यू टू. मैं यहाँ आज अपने असाइनमेंट के विषय में चर्चा करने आई हूँ. आई केम असाइनमेंट डिस्कस टुडे. शॉर्ट फॉर्म, जितने इंपॉर्टेंट वर्ड है लिख. नाउ आई नो दैट आई हैव टू डू इंग्लिश ऑफ दिस, सो हाउ विल आई डू इट? हेलो टीचर, गुड टू सी यू टू. I have come here today to discuss my assignment. क्योंकि मैंने इंग्लिश में लिखा है, क्योंकि मैंने शॉर्ट फॉर्म लिखे हैं, सारे वर्ड्स लिखे और मैंने डायलॉग को समझा भी है, इसीलिए मेरा ईजी है थोड़ा डिलीवर करना, फ्लो मेरी बेटर होगी, कॉन्फिडेंस मेरा थोड़ा अच्छा होगा। अब ये एक दिन में नहीं आ जाएगा, यू विल नॉट बी मैचिंग दिस लेवल ऑन डे वन, बट अगर इसको कंसिस्टेंटली हर रोज़ 10 दिन 15 दिन किया, तब जाके आपको फील होगा कि इतना डिफ़िकल्ट नहीं है जितना हम सोचते हैं। तो मैं ये इसलिए कह रहा हूँ क्योंकि अगली वीडियो से मैं डायलॉग्स करवाऊंगा, और मैं चाहता हूँ कि आप मेरी नाटी की दोनों वीडियोस देखें, ताकि आपको पता चले कि डायलॉग शुरू करने से पहले हमें किन चीज़ों का बहुत ज़्यादा ध्यान रखना है। अगर आप इन चीज़ों का ध्यान रखेंगे तो आपकी नोट टेकिंग बहुत इंप्रूव होगी। तो आपको इन वीडियोस को कम से कम एक बार देखकर प्रॉपर नोट्स लेनी चाहिए। और अगर आपको ऐसा लगता है कि मुझे कोई चीज़ वीडियो में समझ में नहीं आई और मुझे डिफ़िकल्ट हो रहा है उसको समझने में, तो आप अपने नीचे कमेंट सेक्शन में जाइए और लिखिए कि आपको क्या इन वीडियोज़ में से समझ में नहीं आया, और मैं फिर उसके रिलेटेड क्या करूँगा। कभी कभी बहुत डिफ़िकल्ट होता है समझाना मैसेज पर, तो मैं अगर मुझे लगा कि आपका क्वेश्चन ऐसा है कि आपको कुछ समझ में नहीं आया, मैं उसे नेक्स्ट वीडियो में कवर कर लूँगा। तो आप नेक्स्ट वीडियो जब देखेंगे तो आपको प्रिटी मच ऐसा फील भी होगा कि मैंने जो भी क्वेश्चन किया वो आंसर हो गया है, और मैं आपका रिप्लाई ऐसे ही करूँगा कि प्लीज़ डू वॉच द नेक्स्ट वीडियो। क्योंकि कई बार कई चीज़ें मैसेज पर नहीं समझाई जा सकती, लेकिन वीडियो में बहुत आसान होता है उस मैसेज को कन्वे करना। सो प्लीज़ प्रैक्टिस करिए, इन वीडियोस को देखिए, समझिए, नोट्स लीजिए, और एवरी डे प्रैक्टिस करिए। एक दिन करके 2 दिन नहीं किया ऐसे नहीं चलेगा। एक्सपेंसिव एग्जाम है, फिर से नहीं देना है हमें। तो नेक्स्ट वीडियोस से मैं डायलॉग्स डिस्कस करूंगा, बहुत सारे डायलॉग्स हैं मेरे पास एग्जाम के, सो मैं वो सारे डिस्कस करने वाला हूं। सो यू विल बी फाइन, जस्ट फॉलो ऑल द इंस्ट्रक्शंस दैट आई विल बी टेलिंग ऑल ऑफ यू and you will be fine. Practice a lot, and I'll see you next time in the next video. Take care of yourself, and if there's anything that is troubling you, do comment in the comment section below. Bye for now.